did deadlifts today with Matt Ladusky, and I just walked in the gym and I was ready to walk over to the bar and just put 135 on there and pull a couple of singles, doubles, or triples. And then Max over there on the reverse hyper, the glute ham raise, he did some full rolling and stretching and a bunch of stuff that I've never seen before. But you know, if you're having issues with anything being sore, and I have this problem with the Olympic lifts, is I am not flexible enough, I have pains, whatever, and I can't get into position. You've got to make sure your body is prepared to do that. And you know, you run a fine line. How much do I do? You know, do I spend 30 minutes foam rolling? And you know, I used to go through a whole mobility workout, and I sat down and I realized my mobility workout just before I trained was 45 minutes. So then I had 15 minutes to do whatever I was going to do, and I was so sore just from the mobility stuff that I wasn't even able to properly train. So you have to find that fine line of, you know, I've got to do something to stretch out. And I think reverse hyper is absolutely wonderful. I love the reverse hyper. Or anything from good mornings. I love good mornings to get your body warmed up. I used a great machine over here today. I don't even know what it's called. The back attack something. Okay. It's like a good morning type thing. Absolutely fantastic. I really have no idea what it is, but it's you know, anything where you can get your back warmed up and stretched out without beating up the muscles. But you know, if you're having back problems, look at your hips, look at your hamstrings. My back was a little tight this morning, just from the the drive and everything, and sleeping in a strange bed. But you know, I came in and used Arctic Ice, that new stuff they gave me. That stuff's amazing, by the way. The Arctic Ice is a great product, and people say, oh, it's too runny. They've obviously never used a billion other products out there, but the Arctic Ice was great. I covered some of my back, put some on my hips, and I felt great. And it works really, really fast as well. I wasn't sitting around waiting 30 minutes for it to start working. But you know, get done whatever you have to get done, but don't spend 30 minutes of your time stretching and rolling and going through a whole program before you train. You put 135 on the bar and just pull a couple singles, a couple of doubles, walk back, you know, stretch your hip flexors a little bit, stretch your hamstrings a little bit, you know, do some good mornings, you know, with you know, the light band, the mini band, something like that. Do some good mornings, get that back going. You know, if you have to look at it, everyone wants that result today. So everyone wants to go inside and say, today's my PR day, today's my max day, it's gonna happen, or I'm on this awesome training block that is 4 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it might be. And I want to really push myself right now. And you got to look past that. You've got to look at what you could achieve in a year or 5 years. Everyone always goes back and says, I've made no progress in 5 years. Well, if you would have begun doing, you know, precautionary measures, you know, if you would have spent the time to get more flexible, if you would have spent the time to work on your technique, to video your training and see where you're making mistakes, this could be clearly just a technical error with his deadlift that's causing him back pain. But you know, so spend a little bit of time correcting the body. You know, get your lower back, get your hamstrings, get everything else tired. Try this anyway. Get everything else, you know, tired, pre-exhausted, whatever you want to call it, before you go to deadlift. And that's probably not going to lead to anything productive in the next 4, 6 to 8 weeks. But you're going to build a huge amount of training volume. Your GPP is just going to go through the roof. Your ability to do lots and lots of heavy pulling is going to go through the roof. You're going to pre-exhaust those muscles, and that's going to most often turn into long-term gains. It works for me. I mean, I like to deadlift, but you know, I'm sitting here today and I didn't have a great deadlift day. And I sit down and I'm upset with myself. And then it, you know, finally hit me. You know, I haven't done any good mornings in a long time. I haven't done glute ham raises, and I know both of those things work really well for me. So, you know, I have no reason to expect that my deadlift is going to be good because I haven't pushed myself on glute ham raises or good mornings. And it's the same thing. You can't expect, if you've got a back problem or a shoulder problem or any kind of pain problem, you know, just taking a pill or just putting some ice on it or just resting it for a week or a month or avoiding that exercise is not the solution. You've got to get more active. You know, so if your training is going bad, if you're having pains anywhere, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to get more active about what you're doing and take on that solution head on.
Friday was my beginning of my 8th month of chemotherapy. I've lost 70 pounds.
bothered me when it comes to Olympic lifting is people will say, well, if you do the Olympic lifts, you're going to become more explosive. And they use the example of, well, that